Okay, I am here with the Miss Lovely Veronica, and today we're going to talk about productivity. Something that I think that a lot of people have problems with, especially entrepreneurs. And no, I take that back. Not just entrepreneurs, people in the that work a job. Some days they're productive, some days they're not. But we're going to talk about today about a system that can help you stay productive all the time. And for me, and Veronica's definitely familiar with this, I think this starts on a Sunday. Why do I say Sunday? Well, Sunday is a day that usually most people don't work. And when I say they don't work, they're probably at home with their family and things like that. This is a day that I think people should set aside, and you should get up early in the morning on Sunday. And here's what I think you should do. So I'm going to list a couple of things, and then Veronica, you can jump in and give your input. But one of the first things I think you should do on a Sunday is clean. Now, what I mean by that? I mean, get all your clean. Like if you have to wear clothes for work, if you have to wear clothes for your business, throw them in a washing machine. Maybe you put them in the washing machine Saturday or something like that, whatever. But make sure that they're pressed and they're ready to go for the week, because you don't want to be that person that is getting up scrambling, trying to get things and figure out what you want to wear on Monday and try to put this thing together and this outfit together. I mean, what do you think about that, Veronica?
I think this is the key, and I think this is like the basic thing that easily solved when done, while you're relaxing on Sunday.
Hmm.
And I think it's number one stress reason for the whole week if you don't do it. Um, I think that's one thing that is so easy to do on Sunday because usually, as you said, you're just relaxing and kind of recovering, having fun, some free time with the family. And if you don't do it, then you every morning through the whole week will start with stress.
Oh my gosh. You know, if you really want to talk about productivity, that's one of the things that actually keeps people like being pulled away from their work. Like maybe they want to try to cook food when they're hungry. Maybe they don't have food in the refrigerator for the week, so they have to say, "Hey, I need some food," and then they're hungry and they say, "Hey, let me just go out and get some fast food." Lack of
Mm-hmm.
preparation is probably one of the biggest reasons why people don't, you know, get things that they want to do for, done for that day, you know? So that's why Sunday, I think, is a great time to plan the week. So we talked about, washing the clothes and tidying up and maybe cleaning things off your office or something like that, getting that started. I think that's get all of the clutter and things out of your way so you can get started planning your day. Now,
Mm-hmm.
one thing that I want to put some emphasis on is making sure that your morning routine is great. And here's what I mean by that. So I don't know about you, Veronica, but I've gotten into the habit that no matter what time I wake up, the alarm clock goes off at 5:30. But the first thing I try to do is to drink some water and go right into the meditation. And then when I say go right into the meditation, I mean you go right into the meditation, the affirmations, the visualization, the exercise. Just basically a routine. And we'll talk about that a little bit today. But what is the first thing, Veronica, that you see yourself doing when you get out of that bed and you don't have the makeup on, you don't have anything on, you're just ready to go? What's one of the first things that you're doing?
I drink water the first thing, and then now when I'm trying to get up earlier, which is not always easy to do, but I'm trying to do some yoga. For me, it's kind of like to stretch. I personally don't like go running. When I just woke up, like
Hmm.
I need to kind of have a transition
Yeah.
from being completely at zero to 100. So I've been doing yoga in the morning and drinking water, and also getting some peace to my mind
Hmm.
because I'm somewhat hyper person, so um, yeah, and I love it. I like starting my day calm. It
Mm.
puts
There's a good acronym that one can use when they're trying to wake up and they're trying to figure out what is it that I need to do to get the morning started off good. And that acronym is SAVERS. So let's just go. Let's basically just go through it. So the first thing is silence. That's the S stands for silence. That's the meditation. That's where you kind of go through your mind and you create the silence. You delete all the negative junk that's in your head and you get out of your life, right? The second thing is the A. I feel like I'm a cheerleader here, right? Give me an A. So the A stands for affirmation,
mhm.
right? You start saying the things that you want. I don't like saying the things of I am this, I am that. I kind of said that, but now because the body knows that some things are a lie.
Yeah.
So here's what I mean by it. So Veronica, you've heard me talk before about I am a millionaire, I am a billionaire, I am this, right? And I've kind of gotten away from
Mhm.
that because I like to say things like I have a plan to be a millionaire. I
Mhm.
have a plan to be a life coach. I have a plan to be the best vintage seller that ever touched Etsy ever. Right?
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. I just wanna say that what I am doing is because I don't also like to say like I am. I like to say every day I'm getting better at this. Totally in it that I'm getting better, and
Mhm.
it stimulates me because it's exciting. It means time works for me rather than against me.
Against you. I agree.
Yeah, and I feel excited actually. Everyone is complaining, oh, time flies, whatever. It's like what you do with it. I enjoy every minute of it, and when you are on that exciting process of getting better, you are excited about everything basically. And so for me, like when I swim, I don't know, somehow I like swimming and I like walking, listening to the nature or something. I am thinking about those things that I am becoming better, and every day, like I am, more professional, more, I don't know, just all my goals from fitness to business to personal to my dreams. I'm kind of let myself to feel some things rather
Yes.
than just being a robot and repeating like because it feels weird.
I agree. I agree. So the S is for silence, the A is for affirmation. Then we have the V. What is the V for? The V stands for visualization.
Veronica,
Okay, the V could be for Veronica. Okay.
for someone, yeah.
You have to visualize yourself walking into the bank and telling the teller, hey, can you give me a balance of what's in my account? And hearing that number in your head. Because I can tell you guys right now, if you don't believe you can do something, I promise you, you will not be it.
Yeah,
Right?
that's the hardest part.
There's a mental shift that has to happen where you have to look at something like, you know what? I can be successful. I don't care if my mom wasn't successful, my dad wasn't successful, my cousin wasn't successful. I know I can be 100% successful, and I'm going to be that. And then you move toward it because it's not just lip service. So you have to see yourself on a stage, see yourself selling thousands and thousands of items. Visualize it. See yourself going to the post office with many different packages, right? And you're putting them on
I have a pickup.
the counter. What did you say?
I'm saying I use a pickup.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
So then it's
Yes.
the, it's the E. So the E stands for exercise. You got to exercise. They say that exercise is like taking Ritalin. Now I know those of you who are not into drugs or anything like that. Exercise is the miracle drug because it releases endorphins, and endorphins basically create the happy gene. When you see a person that's sluggish, they're tired,
Depressed.
yeah, whatever, that exercise will get the body going, get the blood flowing. So if you are out there starting work and you haven't exercised at least 7 minutes, you're killing yourself. And I don't mean literally killing yourself. You're starting your day off with a mountain on your back, right? And we don't
Hmm.
want that. So then there's a R. right? So now with the SAVE, now with the R. The R stands for reading. If you don't like reading, listen to audio. Put something in your mind, right? I put a picture up the other day, and Veronica said she didn't like it. It was a picture of a brain working out. And she said the picture looks weird, which it did look. It does look weird. But if you don't work the mind out, if you don't put anything in, what do you think is going to come out, right? You know, knowledge and let's say good. I can't even talk here. Knowledge and good things that you put into your brain will only help you during the day. You may hear one sentence of something you've been trying to find for so long, and that one sentence can shift your whole day, right? So the
Yeah.
R stands for reading. And the S, and keep in mind, people, this is before you really get into your big work. And you don't have to spend 30 minutes on each thing. Sometimes it only takes 5, 10 minutes, 10 pages just to do it. And here's the big one, the S, which stands for scribble. Scribble means write, the journal.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Bill Gates paid $70 million for Leonardo da Vinci's journal. It's important. The things he wrote in there were blueprints to the scuba diving gear, tanks, some of the things that military uses today. He had the blueprints in there to the airplane, which the Wright brothers used basically. I'm not saying they used it from him, but some of the inventions that were invented later on, he had scribbled in that journal. And then
Mm-hmm.
one thing about the journal is it helps get those thoughts out. I have
I
a
think
journal now.
journal is cool.
It's over here.
Yeah.
It looks like a car ran over it because the back of it is missing. But I filled it up. Look, it's close. The things that I want to have in my hand are like so far away from me. But anyways, I have to go to Walmart and buy a artist sketchbook because I can fill up that journal so fast. Because all these things, if we are
Yeah.
ADHD entrepreneurs, we have a lot in our head, right? So you can fill up that thing, and then later on, you can go back and look at those notes, and you can find notes to help write your book, to help write blog posts, to help write your Facebook posts if you're trying to motivate another group or whatever. But those are the things. So it's the acronym of SAVERS that can help you boost your day to get started. So that's just a good way to kind of remember it. So, Veronica, I'm going to give you a test real quick. Being that I just said this, what does the S stand for?
F.
The first S in Savers. What does it stand for?
I wanted to say for writing, but that was the last one. Silent.
Boom. I like it. What does the A stand for?
A.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. I will need to watch this video to write it down. I mean, I think I got the main idea. Okay, A. I forgot. Tell me.
Affirmation.
Affirmations. Oh, okay. Yeah, you see, I remember what we talked about, and it feels to me like today we are talking about kind of spiritual side of productivity.
Uh,
Kind of like, spiritual in a way of like not, we're not giving like the tips today
mhm.
out later in the day, but more like being prepared and kind of find the peace within and find those inspirations and things inside and uh, get on our way and have like an early start, give ourselves a little, that 1 hour or 2 hours ahead of everyone else, right?
Yeah, and the reason for that is I hear a lot of people say they don't have time, right? So you mentioned a key thing when you said get up early. Becoming an early riser is probably, especially if you have kids, a family,
I'm
or something like
working
that.
on it. Uh-huh.
And I know it's not easy, I mean, but if you're able to get up and take some time for yourself, you'll be amazed at
Yes.
how much clearer your day can be.
It is really true. When I was little, my dad used to get up at 4:30 every day, and he would come to work. I think before everyone else,
Hmm.
and he he would enjoy that time so much because he didn't like small talks. He just want to get to his work. And for 30 years he did that, and I was a little girl. I was like, why in the world you would get up at 4:30?
Hmm. Hmm.
And now I understand, and he was always above the others.
Yes.
So this is like it's like, I feel like this thing is like you add, you gain in your power if you're busy, especially if you have kids, if you have a job, if you have a business, if you have all these extra things. It's kind of you rewarding yourself with a special time to kind of you giving like me time, like in an
Hmm.
important time where you actually connecting to yourself before you starting the fight.
And and we talked about this yesterday in the blab. One of the reasons for this is because before you can be a real servant for other people, you got to serve yourself first. You got to make sure you're not going insane. You got to make sure that you're thinking about, like, maybe there's something that you want to do and you're afraid to do it. You're coming up with a game plan. You're asking the universe, help me out here. Let me visualize myself going through this thing that I want to do, right? And it's good for you to take that. And like I said, don't guys and gals, don't think that this is some like 2 hour thing, right? You could spend 10 minutes on meditation. And some people say, well, hey, it's hard to meditate for 10 minutes. I don't know about that. We can watch a movie for an hour and a half.
Exactly. Whatever take you, and I'm also thinking, whatever takes you in the zone. Like as for me, sometimes I can sit inside and I can find my place in the house and I can just, relax. But sometimes I just really need to go. Like I like to go outside and walk. And
Mm.
I like the fresh air in my face. It kind of wakes me up and makes me. I feel like I'm ahead of time. I mean, in a weird sort of way, like because no one is there. So it's a great feeling. And I've noticed that the most creative thoughts come to me when I get out to the nature or when I have no distractions. That the ideas that I've been looking for answers for the longest time pop up in my head.
It's so interesting you said that. So I, one of my passions that I love is I love to study daily routines. And Beethoven, Steve Jobs, Napoleon Hill, I mean, the list just goes on and on. They love their walks. And sometimes they would walk for hours because as they were walking, right? A lot of
Hmm.
the thoughts and a lot of the things came to them while they were doing that, right? So they
Yeah.
put it a part of their daily routine. So I agree with you. Walking is amazing.
Yeah, it's true. My dad had been walking. Yeah, it is. It's both like mental and physical. I have like one funny example about how important it is to like get up early and being ahead of time. I don't quite remember the name of this guy, but it's a French scientist. He
Mhm.
had a servant, and he would pay his servant a significant amount of money if he
Mhm.
wakes him up at 5. No matter if he cursed him, no matter if he beat him, no matter, I
Mhm.
mean, the scientist. I think his surname was Buffon, the very famous French scientist. So he had hard time getting up in the morning, but he had his servant, and each time that servant would go through that guy humiliating him and beating him and calling him names, he would
Mhm.
get paid really well
Yeah.
because the guy would be happy. He would go to his castle, close the door, and study. My dad read me that story many years ago, and I was
Mhm.
laughing because I couldn't quite get it. I thought it was hilarious that
Interesting.
you so because he knew how important it was.
Mhm. You see, what's so interesting about that story that you just said was even though the scientist didn't want to get up, he knew by just showing up and doing his studying that was going to help him and push him along to get his day started and do the correct things that
Yeah,
probably help with his success.
yeah, and just yeah, it's really interesting. Like he would say, like no matter how I curse you, whatever I tell you, just take me out of the bed. And that was the guy. I mean, he has a world name. I just can't remember. So he did, he did make it happen. So
Interesting. And
yeah.
see, I just want to say something to expose a myth. A lot of people think, well, they're just morning people. You know, even though I know my why and I know you know your why too, it's not always easy to get up in the morning time, right? But like right now, and I'll talk about this later. I have a index cards, and these index cards are my goals. So they stay right by my nightstand. So when I get up and I'm trying to figure out why it is I need to get up, you start shuffling your goals and putting them in your face.
Oh
Then all of a
wow,
sudden you're like,
this
you
is
know what?
cool.
I need to get up. This is
You
my
can
why.
have a flag or something.
Was that?
You can have like a big flag near your bed
You
or
could put
something.
it in your ceiling. You could put, you know how like when teenagers they have like their idols on the wall kind of thing. I
Hmm.
have my goals on the wall. I have my goals on the on my laminated. You know, I have my goals where I can put in my wallet. And carry with me. Because the
Hmm.
thing about it is, you always have to be reminded of your why, right? And like I told you yesterday, Veronica, we can easily forget about the reason why we're doing things. We're bombarded with so much information that we
Yes.
can get thrown off the track and be going down a whole different lane when we're supposed to be over here.
Yeah, it hurts sometimes because even though we plan everything right, but we are still human, and sometimes we feel like doing something, like talking to someone, like I have this weakness. But I think for me the key is right now is to plan some fun time and ask the person I want to
This
talk
is
to,
true.
hey, can you talk to me on Saturday? Because I understand that people are busy as well, especially those people I like. So
Mhm.
I think like planning fun is actually a key to productivity because instead of being in between, like working and chatting, and you can have chunks, blocks of time when you only work. That I've been doing this, like just having maybe 2 hours, but you're totally isolated, and then you have a chunk of time where you're just having fun.
Mhm.
And yeah, I really think like I've learned that only recently, and I think how is this? I didn't use that before because you're halfway when you are in the middle.
We don't know it before. One of my champions, the people that I look up to, is a lady by the name of Maya Angelou. A lot of
Yes.
people know her.
Uh-huh.
She was a poet, but one part of her routine that increased her productivity that I love was she rented out a hotel room 6 o'clock in the morning till about 2. She stayed at that hotel room. The staff did not come in. The staff used to knock on the door and say, "Hey, can we at least come in and just change the sheets?" Right? Because what she would do is, and I'm not saying that you guys do this when you work, but she would take a bottle of bourbon and she would have her pad, and there's many pictures of her stretched out over the bed, and she would write. She would have crumpled
My
up
kind
paper.
of woman.
Well, hey, some people need the bourbon to get it going. But she showed up, she did her work, and she had amazing poetry. So that could be another thing with productivity. Maybe your house isn't the place, even though you're alone in it. But you see in the pots and pans, and you know maybe your kids' toys or whatever it is. Maybe you need to get out, go to the park, and write some
True.
things there. I don't know where it is that you are more productive. Like, are you productive in your house, Veronica?
Uh, I would say it depends. When I plan things, I can be very productive, but I have a special room that is isolated from basically all the house, and I usually, work in there. So, but I need to just unplug myself from all the
Yeah.
social media,
Yeah.
and,
That's
but actually to be very honest, and do I love it. I love I work a lot in the park, like when it's warmer. But
Mm.
or I like to go to coffee shop or some restaurant by myself. I like it. It just gives you it gives you some. You change the atmosphere and you just concentrate. You focus.
You know, it's so interesting you said that because, like, I tell you something that drives me crazy, and I hope it doesn't go off while I'm here. If I hear a ding on the phone, it would totally throw me off my game. So I've had to learn to, if I'm getting ready to plan something, uh, leave out of the room with the computer, unplug the computer, turn off the phone. I can't even listen to music. I want to hyper focus to that. Now, I'm gonna give everyone a challenge in the room, and also Veronica, you may have done this before. I want you, if you got to do some type of planning or whatever, whether it's for your job or for your business, take a notepad in a room, no sound, and work for 50 minutes. Get a timer and work for 50 minutes and see what happens. 50 minutes, the first thing you'll find out is 50 minutes is a long time. Because you're going to
Yes.
be looking at your watch, the clock, like, is it 50 minutes? Is it going yet? Is it going yet? Of
Because
uninterrupted time.
yes, yes, I actually have a video about the timer,
Hmm.
and it's amazing how much you can even done. Like if you have smaller topics, how much you can done, or if you have don't have a big serious project and you only chop like 15, 20 minutes,
Hmm.
and you don't do anything but work, and you have timer for 15, 20 minutes. It just like blows your mind how much you can get done. And I've been using that. I actually have a video about it, and I've been using that. Some people say, "Oh, it doesn't work for me," but very honestly, I don't believe them. I think they just never tried.
See, here's the thing about doesn't work. A lot of people, for them to concentrate just for 50 minutes, they can't do it because they're like, holy crap, I get bored. They're going to feel that feeling of boredom like, oh my gosh, I only need 25 minutes. But if you let yourself fight through that boredom, get past that, because boredom is not necessarily a bad thing, right? So if you get past that and say, well, you know what, I have a little bit more in me. I have a little bit more in me. And it may take some time, but if you get used to doing that 50 minutes on one thing, let's say that one thing is planning out your social media. Maybe the one thing is doing YouTube videos just for that 50 minutes. You're going to get a lot done.
Yeah, or organizing. Some of people, were telling me that they're really behind on their or organizing. That's one thing that keeps you off track and eats your time and stress you out. Maybe you have that one room that is a mess, and if you do every day 15 minutes, you will get it done. It's too
Yes.
scary when you see the whole thing. You get overwhelmed, and you know, I would know that some years back, but I know it now.
This is true. And it's trial and error. We don't come in the world knowing everything, right?
Yes,
So we got to
that's
do some
true.
things wrong for a while and then we figure it out. And then the thing you think you're doing right for a while may be wrong. So and you're going to constantly get better and better and better,
Yes,
right?
definitely. They say that every minute, actually, it's Brian Tracy said that every minute you spend in planning
Hmm.
and execution, where this give you 1,000% of energy return. For those that complain that there is no time and no energy, here you go. So you plan one thing,
Hmm.
it gives you 10 times return, in energy and time. So that's amazing.
You know, I, I want to say something to the people that say they don't have enough time. And this is no offense or anything. This is just my opinion. If you spend most of your time working on the main things that are lined up with your goals, you accomplish your goals. So let's say, for instance, maybe you have a goal to learn a language, right? And you've never learned a language before, and you're like, oh, this is hard. This is this. Maybe you can say, hey, when I get up in the morning after I do my savers, I'm going to watch a Spanish movie with the subtitles in English, right? So then you're done. Then you come doing your thing. Then you say, hey, I'm going to go practice my Rosetta Stone for 30 minutes. Then you leave that. Then you say, hey, you know what? I'm going to watch a Spanish channel on YouTube, whatever. So if you put these things as your habits, and then you do your other things and you set time slots for that, you eventually get what you want because now what you're doing is creating a lifestyle that's wrapped around your goals.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yes, definitely. I'm working on it. We have way more power on things that we think once we make that system. I agree with you 100%.
Veronica, we can go on and on and on.
Maybe next time we can talk about more specific things for like everyday planning,
Hmm.
because today we kind of went to romantic part and I think it's really important.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Because there are many different levels of productivity. And it's kind of
Yes,
like you said, this is more of a spiritual approach,
yes.
without putting a
Hmm.
religion name on it toward productivity. But it's important.
Yes. I think I didn't haven't done this before, but I find that it's probably basically I think it would work for most of people, like
Hmm.
probably if they ever try.
This is true. This is true. Well, Veronica, this is your channel. I'll let you have the last word.
Well, thank you for watching me staying for half an hour. It's interesting because we haven't really covered like 5% of what I wanted. But I mean,
Part two.
not, yeah. So I hope we will work on the part two. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Alrighty.
Thank you, Abdul.